Hey guys, it's me here again with another video. It's been a long time because I've been in college for the past few months. And before I start this video, I would like to, be able to let you guys know that if you have any questions about college or anything, I was anxious when I applied, feel free to message me in game or inbox me if you have any questions because I was really anxious. So, I'm just trying to help. But on to the video. So, I want to talk about the evolution of combat and how it's affected RuneScape. But beyond that, I want to discuss where exactly RuneScape is going to be heading. And a lot of people have a huge misconception of where it's headed. Now, it's really quite clear for many people to think, oh, well, RuneScape is just going downhill. Mark Gerhard and the Jagex company is just trying to milk every dollar they can at this moment with bad updates and microtransactions. Which, it's a very valid point with what's going on, but, people aren't seeing exactly what's happening, and they're just looking at the reference of time as in the present. They're not looking at the past or the future, which is where the mistakes, it's pretty much where the mistakes are. So, I want to talk about RuneScape in its current state right now. And right now, it's, Bandos is like 10 mil or 11 mil for the set. Fury is like 2.7 mil. Sharks, 300 GP. Natures are like 100. Death Runes are 93. Rock Tails are 800, I believe. And Whips are like 200k. So it's really bad. The only things that aren't so bad right now are the discontinued items, which are actually really high right now, but for the general public, the market right now is at a Great Depression, RuneScape style. RuneScape has went through a recession in 2009 where a lot of items were cheaper. Granite Malls were definitely hit on that one. Bandos was a little lower. It went from like 22 mil to 60 mil per piece. It was that kind of thing. Now it's AGS is 6 mil. It's that bad, and there are reasons why it's happening. Now we'll explain that in this video. Now, let's start with the past. So we all have a general idea of what happened. The past was started with RuneMud in like 1999, and then they went to RuneScape Classic after development and popularity in 2001, and they went to RuneScape 2 in 2004. And the climax hit in 2006, and then it went downhill from there pretty much. So, in comparison to right now, it might not be clear, but we are actually in that transition from that end phase of RuneScape Classic. It's a similar situation. We are not in RuneScape 2 anymore. I mean, let's be honest. The way combat system works, the way skilling is, the community in general, and just, the idea of how society is. It's not that it's worse, but we have slowly developed into a self-centered and silent community where we're only focusing on leveling. And I'm not gonna lie, that was me in 2011, 2010, even earlier this year. And that's why this game feels so bad right now. But, but another clear thing is the updates. And here is where the contradictory is. Think of it this way, okay? People are claiming that Mark Gerhard and that's a key word, and the staff members are, they're trying to milk the money for all they can get right now before they just dismiss RuneScape and let it die. But my friend told me today, and no, I just learned this today, and this is part of what motivated me to make this video, is that he said that many employees are being laid off of work at Jagex headquarters because they had input per se on some of the updates that were concurring on this game. They didn't want some of these updates to concur, such as like, they didn't want the Squeal of Fortune to, be brought out. They don't want, they didn't want the microtransaction updates to happen. So because of their input in their, in their disagreements with these updates, they've been laid off work from what I've been hearing. I'm sure there are videos and websites out there discussing more about that. So look at, after this video, look that up. Maybe, comment and see. Just leave a comment and tell me what you see. And, I would believe that. So, it really does give you perspective that it really is only, a minor category that's really doing these updates. It's not like, it's not the whole company. But even maybe that small even the head staff like Mark Gerhardt maybe not is not at fault. Maybe they're not at fault. Okay, so here back to the idea that Mark Gerhardt is milking the game. Yes, microtransaction is a very valid point. But if that were true, why would Mark Gerhardt invest a lot of money, we're talking maybe millions of dollars, into modern software technology and programming, hiring programmers to code for these updates, because it's like countless lines of code are required to input updates into the game, and that's very time consuming, so therefore programming costs are very high, and there's a lot of debugging and all of that process involved for the game. So, with that said, Mark Gerhardt wouldn't just blow off a ton of money just to get rid of players, just so he could add little microtransactions to the game to make up for it. That's not the case. He's trying to shift the game into something else and lead it in a different direction, which is what RuneScape should be doing. Okay? So just hear me out. Say we all go back to RuneScape in 2006. We were all placed in a server that was, similar to 2006, okay? No one, was all veterans, maybe a few new people. There were no updates, just, glitch fixing and necessary debugging. Now, imagine that same group of people, 10 years, nothing new, no new players, because, realistically, new players wouldn't want to see a game and join a game where it's like old graphics, compared to like, just new games. They're not attracted to that. Let's be honest. The only people who are the people who remember and cherish, the memories. I mean, that's the truth. So think of it that way. In 10 years from now, would you still be having fun with that limited? I mean, there are games that I've played that never updated. It really gets boring after just a matter of a few years. RuneScape has passed many phases. They went through the classic stage, RuneScape 2 stage, and all of the updates in between now and the evolution of combat, just because they've been updating the game. Okay, yes, there is there can be a threshold level for the amount of updates, but realize that they do have a goal for this game. There is a goal. They're not just throwing away the game. Now, continuing on that thought, where the game is heading, I don't know. But, we have to accept the fact that RuneScape 2 is no longer the game we're playing. RuneScape 2 was completely different. The adventurous medieval, that's the key thing about RuneScape 2. It's the medieval era. The other ones did have medieval, and RuneScape 2 did continue that legacy, but also kind of advanced to a more modern, like kind of like a later medieval theme, kind of, if you know what I mean. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a little post medieval era, but not really. Because, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of these updates, dungeoneering, summoning, those aren't really medieval related. But hunter, a lot of those kind of like self-sufficient skills, those are the ones that are medieval. Now we're slowly shifting to another game, like I've said before. So we can't accept this game as RuneScape 2. And, a lot of you are wondering, well, then why are we still playing RuneScape 2? Why didn't we just shift to RuneScape 3? Well, this is part of their evaluating strategy. They're not just going to dump the game and just transfer everything and then leave players confused. They want us to get a feel of what is to come. Now, we are, Mark Gerhardt has stated that there will be, they're expecting to release 2 new skills next year, one like half a year apart. I'm pretty sure that these skills are going to help explain why the new combat system is the way it is. It's going to make more sense. Right now, a lot of things are just thrown at us. We still don't understand why because it's not what we're used to. I mean, it makes sense. We've been using the same combat system for like 10 years. Just retaliate and hit, AFK, that kind of thing. But now it's going to a more interactive kind of game. A more modern and user-friendly game. That's what the goal is. And I know that with time, this game will eventually reach that point where it's going to be that adventurous feeling again. They're going to eventually make a RuneScape 3. I am more than confident that at some point they're going to shift the game. Because this game is not, RuneScape 2, that's a misnomer for this game now. It's not what it is. So, with that said, it's not that this game is falling apart. They're just trying to lead it in a different direction, and it will pay off in the end because we will go through that new adventures feeling again, just like the people who experience the transition from Classic to RuneScape 2. So, I'm sure, there are good updates to come. We will have a new community. As far as stats, now that's the thing that I'm concerned about. Statistics on this game. When we transfer over, who knows what's going to happen with stats. Some people, if we keep them, then we're going to have experienced players, max players, and then just a lot of newbies. But if everyone's reset, it's going to feel that exact new thing. I don't know what they're going to do, or if they do it, this is all what I believe is going to happen. And, it's just history, history repeating itself. That's what I'm seeing. So, it's just the transition. That's all we're going through, guys. I don't want to make this too long of a video, but all we're going through is the transitional phase. This will be a different game eventually, and it's not going to be down. It's going to be a good game. I can almost promise you this will turn into a good game sooner or later. Just have faith. I know it's really hard to ask for, but I believe that Mark Gerhardt knows what he's doing. I mean, it just doesn't make sense for someone to waste hundreds of thousands on programming and then just throw little microtransactions to pay for that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. He's obviously trying to get a new crowd, and with today's competition, that is a hard thing to do, and that's why it's very hard to notice. But that is that's what's trying to occur. So eventually, I think we might have a RuneScape 2 server, but for now, this is all it's going through. It's just going through a little change, and the evolution of combat will come more naturally with time, but it'll also make more sense as we transition to a new game. I'm looking forward to it. I've been through this game since 2006, and I mean, I've seen the best of times and the worst of times. I mean, honestly. But this game has made it through so much, guys. They're not just gonna let this game go down. They're not. They went from nothing to a massive amount of players, millions on weekly, and now it's just going through. It's just something new that RuneScape hasn't experienced, but it's gonna lead somewhere. Okay, it's very awkward. It's a very awkward transition, but I just believe that you guys need. We should just have more faith in Jagex, and just think outside the box. Think of more what the long-term goal is. Okay, just remember that. Just think of the long-term goal. That's all we need to worry about. That's all that's happening. It's just a transition, guys. Thanks for watching. I will try to get into this more. I'll have a 5-week break coming soon, so I want you guys, if possible, to share and upload this video. Feel free to just let them know I made this video. Just to let people know that this is probably just a transition, because I've heard no ideas on that, and I think this is a good idea. And also, if you haven't noticed, this is my first IRL video, so I'm sorry if there's anything weird with it, but So, this is an it's an experimental purpose. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.